Hey guys. So normally I have a lot to yap about, but I'll be honest, this week was really slow. I only have two things to talk about. So we're going to have a little mini burst of your week in Pokemon, and then we're going to talk about something else. So here we go. All right, so for the first story tonight, we're going to be talking about the release of Pitch Black. All right, so there it is. Darkrai finally in its full flesh. We got the promo of Zarude. Looks very cool. I'm actually very excited for this set. I'm a big fan of dark sets. My favorite set is probably Team Rocket Returns. And then in the modern, market, I actually was a big fan of Shrouded Fable. I really, really enjoyed that one. Obviously, Glory of the Team Rocket, or Destined Rivals, also very cool. I wish we had dark types to come back, like actually tagged dark type Pokemon. You know what I mean? Dark type Flosion, Dark Gyarados, dark. I really like those. But yeah, so here's some more artwork of the stuff we see. We have some packs, we have some promos. Looks pretty cool. There's not too much to say about it. It's going to be about the same size as Abyssai. So whatever we see in, the Japanese set is probably what we're going to be getting into the English set. And that kind of rolls into something I wanted to talk about a little bit later, but we're going to go ahead and end this segment here. So that's what's coming up. Okay. And so for the next one, we're going to be talking about this ridiculous story. I saw it earlier today. I thought I'd, throw this in. This is silly. So up in Pasadena, California, and I say up in because I'm kind of in the San Diego area. By the way, I'll be going to Card Party. So if you're at Card Party, come say hi. But yeah, in Pasadena, there was a Best Buy, I believe. And it was either a couple days ago or this morning or something like that. I think it was a couple days ago. A guy was arrested on the inside of the Best Buy before anyone got there. There was a whole line of people waiting for a Pokemon drop. Then they were going to get their cards, and all that stuff. But there was someone who was already being arrested by the time the employee showed up. And the reason why is because this guy thought it would be a good idea to actually sleep in the Best Buy and wait for the drop in the morning so he could be first in line. He was essentially going to hide out in between the aisles or something, go sleep in a refrigerator or something, pop out and be like, oh, I was here first. I was first in line, as if that would ever actually happen. It's ridiculous. Obviously, the employees are going to see something. There's going to be alarms or something they have that's going to trigger that, and the guy got arrested. So just a silly story that I really wanted to talk about. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, that was really your week in Pokemon. There was not much going on this week, but that kind of leads into the general topic that I wanted to talk about. There's really not much going on in Pokemon at all. It seems to be at this point, the market has kind of met its max. Like in terms of all the sets, they're kind of stagnating or staying at their certain prices. Everyone's comfortable at a certain price point, and it's found its equilibrium. Obviously, the big thing everybody wants right now is Ascended Heroes, but that means that there's really not a lot of demand or interest in the upcoming sets. Chaos Rising is okay. Perfect Dark or Pitch Black, whatever it's called, that one's okay too. But they're both smaller sets, and this is something that I've been thinking about. Why would Pokemon be releasing small sets? And the only reason I can come up with this is because a lot of these sets were intended to be larger. So I always thought that the Phantasmal Flames set was supposed to feature that SIR Gengar in Ascended Heroes. And I almost wonder if it was intentionally pulled out, put into Ascended Heroes to be a larger set, and then allow a bunch of other cards that were meant to be in other sets as well to be in Ascended Heroes. And the reason that they would do this is so that interest in the general product of Pokemon would be all focused on one set, which is Ascended Heroes. That's where you're going to find your biggest scalpers, your biggest flippers, your biggest opportunities. And if that was what they were going for, it was a great move. Now, why would they do that? My reasoning to why they would do that is because they're trying to calm the market and have it have a moment to relax. The problem that we're running into is that Pokemon continuously releases products every couple months, and it never stops. And we have the 30th coming up, and they're already having problems meeting demand. So what if, hear me out, they took the cards that were slated for these sets pulled some out, moved some over, and said, hey, we're going to make these sets smaller, and we're going to include the other cards in another set later. And we're going to go ahead and print those. So that way there's only a few chase cards. Some of them will be highly valued, others will not, but we'll primarily focus on making sure that these sets are affordable and playable for our players. Meaning that they're just essentially buying time to allow the printing facilities to get everything done, right? And if you have smaller sets with a few chase cards, it's a lot easier and a lot quicker to print. So you can get those done, get them out of the way, get them on the shelf, and you can get a lot more volume because you're not making 50, SIRs, except for Ascended Heroes, right? But like when you have only 6, 7 SIRs, you can do that in one sheet, right? And then you can put it into the packs. You can go, okay, that's done. But if you have a larger set, if you have something that's too big, like Black Bolt, White Flare, now you have to use multiple sheets of different types of Pokemon and get that all done and then sorted. And it might just be a situation where it's too much. And with everything going on, the demand, they can't meet it. And then they got to worry about the 30th, right? So you following me here? So what if they just made it to where a lot of these mega sets were designed to be smaller on purpose so they can print faster, get it out, and move the product? The other thing I thought about is this redesign of the booster bundle. So if you're not aware, the new booster bundle is taller. I don't know why they did that. Now, it could just be, for fun. But what makes this booster bundle different than the previous one, beyond just its height, is that it actually doesn't have that outer sleeve. So when you have like an ETB right here, you end up with an outer sleeve, right? Well, I remember watching Anon TCG talking about this, and he said one of the hard parts that Pokemon is running into is that it's very difficult for them to acquire this accessory material to make things. That's actually why I'm a big proponent of things like the figure collection. I don't know if you can see it, but this, I've been really preaching this product because each one of these items, the sleeves here, the pins here, the figures here, it's another piece that it takes longer and more resources to replicate. So what if the booster bundle was made in such a way to where it's one unit to be quick and reuse the equipment and the materials faster? So they made it to where the booster bundle itself is just the thing that pops open and you're done. It doesn't even have the lid to close like a proper, deck box where the old ones are. It's literally just open it up like a little square box. So I don't know. I think Pokemon in general is trying to be strategic about what they're making. They're trying to redesign things to be quicker, more efficient. We've seen it in a lot of their newer products as well. They're smaller, they're designed better. The poster premium collection for Ascended Heroes, that one is actually something that is a much smaller design versus something like a Blooming Waters. Blooming Waters, I think, has 11 packs in it, and it's like twice the size. So what if Pokemon is just being like, hey, we need to be more conservative about what we're using. We're trying to get it pushed out faster so that way we can prepare ourselves and give everyone a chance to get the better products. I don't know. This is just a thought. Let me know what you guys think. I just wanted to yap about that a little bit. I think that Pokemon is trying to essentially find a way to gently let the market cool off without a hard crash. And I think that if they do smaller sets in sequence, that's the result that you'll get. So let me know what you guys think. That is pretty much all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week for your week in Pokemon.